I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a 3-time Pro Bowler, Derek Carr, leading the Oakland Raiders as they square off against second-year man Sam Darnold and the new-look New York Jets. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jets work their way onto the field, led by the number 3 overall pick in 2018, Sam Darnold. And during the offseason, Darnold was asked where he was looking to improve. He told everybody being more comfortable in the pocket. You look back to the numbers from his rookie campaign, 17 touchdowns and 13 starts. So just imagine what a relaxed and more experienced Darnold might be able to accomplish with a stronger set of receivers now here in 2000. And he's into the clear. 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Robbie Anderson. His 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Wow, first play of the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. This is taken near the 13. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Raiders under head coach John Gruden in his second go-round. Leading them out, their 6-year quarterback. Hailing from Fresno State, that's Derek Carr.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent, too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it. But otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
Well, a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. Give them a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. A first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. Tyre Whitehead, top 10 in tackles last year, up to make the play.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. That one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
That's going to be caught by Crowder. It's a Jets touchdown. Jamison Crowder, his 4th touchdown on the year. Now Parkey for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Offside, defense.
Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On play action, it's Carr. Catch made, it's Moreau. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Carr going to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Let's go! 7:34.
Now this time, Carl throw. The pass complete to Ryan Grant. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Carr now on first down. And his throw here is incomplete. Ryan Grant the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
Darnold on first down. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Darnold now already over 150 yards through the air in the opening quarter. It's 1st and 10. Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. A look at the defensive starters now for the Raiders. They were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback's axe, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
That result really no surprise. That's what we're coming accustomed to with this #1 ranked rush defense.
And you study the game. Does this bring back a few memories? Maybe the 85 Bears trying to move the ball against them, 2000 Ravens. Heck, how about the late 60s, early 70s Purple People Eaters, the Minnesota Vikings. Hard to move the ball against those types of teams.
Darnold going to lead the offense up 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. After one, a 14-3 ball game. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. On 2nd and inches, Darnold, throw complete to Herndon. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. They'll run with Montgomery. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Darnold. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Quincy Enunwa, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Time here to remind you that coming up later tonight on Sunday Night Football, it's the Seahawks and the Eagles from Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And then tomorrow night on Monday night, more Birds with the Ravens involved in that one. Sadly not taking on the Cardinals or Falcons, though. Instead, they'll match up with the Rams in L.A. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. From midfield, here's Carr. Forced out to his left. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down and a 21-yard gain. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
29.
Shotgun now for Carr. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And he'll find Moreau here.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can't he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. And obviously they want that run yardage, so they decline the penalty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Smart on their part. They finished off the play. But if you're going to jump, if you're going to commit a penalty, it's your job to finish off the play so you don't give up big gains like that.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Carr gives to Richard. Richard lost it, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They start this with a run for Powell. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 38, Darnold, and that is incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Darnold. Found his target, it's Anderson. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. Darnold now at 200 yards already in this first half, and he's not done yet. 1st and 10. Darnold completes it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The former first-round pick Shane Ray in on the tackle. 2nd and 5 now. Darnold, he's got Herndon, his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. On the ground, it's Montgomery. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
A 32-yard attempt.
And Parkey's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. On 2nd down, Richard. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Now they got to get to the line quickly. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. And an alley to run. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Come on. 1st down, Raiders.
1st and 10. Here's Carr. He'll find his running back here, Richard. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Carr throwing the out route incomplete. It's Grant. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 11 yards there, 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Now, a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The final shot here before half for Carr. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin in the Windy City, where the New York Giants have made the trip to take on Chicago. And it's the Bears who have the lead. 2 touchdown passes there for Mitchell Trubisky. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game, it was Sam Darnold who was on target in the first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. He was brought down by Brandon Copeland. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Second and 7 at the 41-yard line.
41's the mic. 41's the mic.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Quick hitter here, it's complete.
call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Henry Anderson, big man from Stanford, there for the stop.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Now a play fake. Carr. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 12-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Down. 180. 180. We're good. We're good. 180.
They'll run on first down. Richard. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Now, team offenses want to turn down long drives, but if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage,
and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
I guess they figured they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. They'll try and run for it. And not only did he not get in the end zone, he didn't get the first down either. Pro Bowler C.J. Mosley, the Ravens' leading tackler last year, up to make the stop. Sam Darnold heading back out, the focus of our players' spotlight. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, when they...
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
The previous play is under review.
Jalen Richard, the ball carrier. C.J. Mosley on the tackle.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Let's go.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play. Well done from a safety to come up there at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle, too.
Yeah, he actually played into his position, didn't he? He's the strong safety. That means being near the line of scrimmage, cleaning up the run game, almost an extra linebacker, and he relishes the opportunities to put a big hit on a runner.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Gary and Conley. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now Carr. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, it's Carr. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Now Carr. Got him in. It's Brown. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Throwing on first down is Carr. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Leonard Williams. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. To try again after the sack. Carr. That's complete to Richard, the running back. Richard lost it, and it's scooped up by the Jets. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Parkey with the extra point. Back now here on EA Sports, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
On second down now, Richard. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Right here, 694. Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant. 41's coming, 41's the mic. Let's go, D, tighten up. Let's go, D, tight.
Hey, Alpha.
The Raiders do snap it. It's Carr. He gets it to Brown. Complete. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. First 9 seasons in the league for Brown were, of course, in Pittsburgh. Last year, though, growing concerns of his dissatisfaction in his role with the Steelers. Then the quibbles with Ben Roethlisberger. So he ends up being traded to the Raiders in March. 7-time Pro Bowler, 6 straight years of at least 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. Not a bad stretch. What a talent for Derek Carr to have on his side. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. So in Jet territory now. Here's first and 10, right at the 40. Carr to throw again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The football comes out. Jacobs lost it, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. The Jets on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Darnold. Open man is Anderson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him to first.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. Off of play action, Darnold. He's going to launch this thing way down. He's got it at the 15. 33 yards that time. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them.
And this is going to be captured. Nevin Lawson with a pick. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, Don. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. He's going deep for Brown. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play that time for the Raiders. 53 yards. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Henry Anderson able to record his 5th sack of the season. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Here's Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Box drop. Check 53. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Carr to throw for it on 4th down. That's going to be caught. A pickup of 24, and that's where the play began, the 24-yard line.
53, Mike. Let's go, let's go. Check. 9.
They'll run it with Jacobs, and he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here, back to the 2. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Check. 53, check. 53, I'm here.
2nd down and goal. Carr to the end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver that time was Josh Jacobs, but now it's 3rd and goal. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Carr now on 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. I think here the score dictates you pretty much got to go for it.
But when you look at the scoreboard and you realize that 3 doesn't do you a whole lot of good in this situation, you're exactly right. Dial up one of your better plays and get after it. Forget the field goal kicker. He doesn't matter.
A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And this is incomplete. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. And this is taken at the 23. Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust. It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for the Raiders. 46 yards. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Here's Carr to throw. The pass complete to Ryan Grant. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. This will be caught at about the 5. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. To throw again on 2nd down. Carr toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. On the ground, Richard. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jalen Richard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders get a score closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And a loose football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. New York set to take the field. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being...
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal. Win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Jets, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Oakland, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.